Titans Global. Let's go. Started with a vision, two voices in the mix. Max and Link together, building something that'll stick. Every episode we drop, yeah, we're reaching new heights. Titans Global on the map, burning bright every night. From the first recording session to the fans that tune in, we've been grinding every day, yeah, we're destined to win. Titans Global, that's the name, that's the brand, we the fans. Speaking truth through the microphone, messages that we send. Titans Global, that's the movement. Titans Global, feel the power. Titans Global, we keep pushing. Titans Global, this our hour. Titans Global, Max and Link. Titans stronger than you think. Titans Global, that's the way. Titans Global, every single day.
What's up, Titans fans, and welcome to another episode of Titans Global Podcast. I am your host, Maximus Titan Fan, and with me is my good buddy always. What's up, Link? How you doing tonight, man?
Pretty good, man. Good to be here. Good to see you guys. We got games tomorrow. Super excited, but as always, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Get in the comment section. Let us know what you think. The good, the bad, the ugly. You love it. You hate it. Just talk to us. That's the main thing. We do this for you guys. The show's for y'all, so just give us a share where you can, and we'll get right into it.
100%, man. And we're going to talk a little bit about the game that happened, obviously, and what we hope to see, at the Vikings. And the main thing that I'm excited about is I'm going to be at the Vikings game. Me and Link are going to be at the Titans. So actually, me, Link, and Scoob are all three going to be at the Titans game. So yeah, and we're all going to be in the same section too. So I mean, if y'all want to, come meet us, get a free sticker, just come hang, get a picture up, whatever. Hit us up. We'll be there. Be there nice and early too. So yeah, let's see. First thing I really want to talk about is Snead and Cushenberry. Both are supposed to be back, scheduled for week 1. And I think that's probably one of the most important things I read all week, mainly because Snead needs to start making that contract, and B, Cushenberry, I'm just real excited, man. I think he adds a whole new level to the offensive line, and they've already shown they're pretty good this year anyway. So
yeah, I think Cush being kind of ahead of schedule is definitely a good sign. I think that, you had some guys step up if they needed them week 1. I think the backup guys and the depth guys did a pretty good job these first 2 preseason games. But having Cushenberry back, I mean, that's huge. I mean, that's the staple. That's the center you expected to go into the season with. We were thinking it could be week 2, week 3 at the earliest, but he's been ahead of schedule, and that's awesome. Snead, kind of the complete opposite. Like, nobody really knows what's going on, and he was supposed to be ready for training camp, and the coaching staff and the front office is like, oh, everything's fine. He'll be ready to go training camp week 1. And now we sit here 1 day away from the last preseason game, and he's just now seeing time on the practice field. So that's concerning. I mean, I think he's veteran enough that if he is ready to go week 1, like, he's still an impact player. Yeah. I don't think he's going to have that slow start like you'd see with some younger guys or the guys who just don't have that raw talent that he has. But still, like, this thing is drug out all off season. It dates back to last year. Like, at some point, it's got to have some kind of toxic effect. Like, do you agree with that? I mean, I'm not in the locker room, but just as a dude, like, that's got to affect players when it's just like, where is he? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man. And I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan. I mean, I was at the signing, and then last season, what we went through, I was like, well, that's all right. I mean, he's just injured or whatever. But this off season, he's at his camp, and he says, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. And I believe it was Paul Kuharski. It might have been Teron Davenport. I can't remember. I get them confused a lot, and I apologize about that. But I read them both a lot. But anyway, one of the two asked him about it.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, well, Brian Callahan and the coaching staff were taking real cautious, approach with me and blah, blah, blah. But I think that is just smoke. I really do. I think it's all smoke. I don't know if the guy is just unmotivated or what, but he said in a interview today that he's going to be a whole new Legarius Sneed when the lights come on. So I will at least say I'll hold my judgment until week 1, but dude, you got to start earning your money, man.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not the signs were there. Like it was kind of the same thing in Kansas City, but it wasn't as big of a deal because Kansas City was winning championships. Like he was very limited at practice. He didn't participate in a lot of training camp. Like you saw kind of the same things. The biggest difference was last year when we expected him to be on the field, he wasn't. Like, it's one thing if you're missing practice and you're setting out training camp and you're being, extra cautious, but when you're not seeing the field during the regular season and your team has 2 to 3 wins, like now it becomes almost a culture thing. And that's what kind of gets to me. Like that's the time where he is a veteran and he as a leader should be stepping up. Like I'm going to do more at training camp. I'm going to do more in practices to try to build this team. But I don't know. Like you really don't have a choice right now if you're the Titans because he is very talented and you've kind of seen the backup struggle a little bit in the secondary. And I mean, as much as it sucks to say, he's still your best option. Like you really don't have a way around it. It's kind of like if he wants to show up week 2, what are we going to do? Keep him off the field? Like Judy Lawley going to start? Like, I mean, it's tough because you don't have a lot of other options and depth on this defense.
Yeah, and that's really the issue right there is the depth of our cornerback. It's not the deepest position.
No.
And the rookie, what is his name? Marcus Harris? I think it's his name. He actually had a really good game last week. I was really impressed by him, but hell, he might even make the team, to be honest, because there is room for it. And another guy he brought up, Judy Lawley, he did well last week too. But do I think these guys are starters? No, far from it. So we have to have Sneed. So yeah, exactly. You're just, I mean, you're saying the exact right thing, man. I mean, he's got to get healthy. He's got to get right. Get your head in the game. Let's go. Shake the rust off. Because that first game, I mean, I don't know. But to me, it seemed like when he came into the game, he wasn't. And if I'm wrong, correct me. But I believe the last game that he played, Jarvis Brownlee played better than he did. He outplayed him.
Yeah,
and he was supposed to be. I mean, he said
that.
he had like an ankle injury or something like that
Right.
that was lingering from the season before. But he was. I mean, he was supposed to be healthy. From everything that we heard, he was supposed to be healthy. So if that is healthy, and that's really what I want to see. Can he be the star cornerback for, and then everybody else kind of fall in line? Because, I mean, if you're looking at a starting trio of Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Legarius Sneed, and Roger McCreary, that's pretty good.
It's pretty
we
good.
have pretty good secondary.
Yeah, but if one of those guys
I was
goes
going
down,
to say, if one of them goes down, though,
yeah.
now we're talking about a whole new dish, so.
Well, and to kind of transition into, what we're going to get into at some point, like what helps that secondary is a good pass rush. And we don't really know where the pass rush is going to come from. Like that's the other thing. So you're not only are you asking these depth guys to hold up in their one-on-ones and to keep their zones, but you're asking them to do it facing the lack of a pass rush that we're possibly going to see. Like, I think it's going to take some time for these guys like Femi to kind of work themselves into this and find success, because you moved on from Harold Landry. That was the choice of this organization. I didn't necessarily disagree with it, but they never really found that replacement. They have guys they hope are going to replace him at some point, but right now, let's be honest, Arden Key is your best pass rusher. I mean,
Yeah.
that's who you're looking from your pressure to come from, and I don't love that. So it's just going to force those guys. It's just going to force those guys in the secondary to hold up that much longer and to be that much better. So yeah, if Snead, if Snead goes down or any of these guys go down, it could be a long season.
Hey, Link for mayor, y'all. That was the best politician answer I have ever heard in my life. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. It's
Yeah.
oh my God. Yeah, no. The fact that saying out loud that Arden Key is our best pass rusher
Yeah.
is frightening. I mean, it really. And Ole did all right last game. I'm not gonna lie. I was actually kind of impressed with
Yeah, I
a
mean,
little
he's
bit of
had
the.
his moments, but
He was coming off the line a lot better in this game than he did his first game.
yeah,
I'm hoping
no,
that was like jitters.
he had his moments, but that's a position like I was very concerned going into this offseason about middle linebacker. And I think they've done a really good job of shoring that up. But it feels like pass rush just kind of went to the wayside. Like I expected more moves to be made. There was a lot of names about trade talk. And I mean, there's still guys out there right now that are possibly available. And I don't think this team's above looking at those options. Like you still have some cap space to play with. So we'll see what happens. But right now, Arden's all you got.
I'll say this on run heavy teams or teams that I think might run on me, I would use Draymond Jones and Ole because he's actually good at stopping the run and setting the edge. And I think Draymond Jones is really good at that too. But as far as passing, rushing the passer, I don't know. We're not very. I'm not confident in our skills at that right now. We'll just leave it at that. All right, so Van Jefferson is not helping himself at
From
all.
one problem to another.
I was gonna say, I figure since we're talking negative stuff, let me just go ahead and throw all the shit into one big bucket, so we can toss it outside and not think about it anymore. Van Jefferson is really not helping himself, and that fans are making a rumble about it when the Titans media kind of goes out of their way to make a highlight reel of the practice of Van Jefferson catching two passes. One that looks like he didn't really secure the ball all that well heading out of bounds. But, man, you got to do something in a game. I mean, you got to have a good game this week. Mm-hmm. And Nick Holtz, our offensive coordinator, even though he doesn't call the plays, he's still the coordinator, has said that the plan is basically to give the younger guys on the back end of the roster a better shot this week. So it doesn't sound like Van Jefferson's going to have a whole lot of opportunity to make his appearances any better, and I don't know that really hurts his roster status.
Yeah.
It damn sure hurts his starting status, if nothing else.
I don't like how comfortable his roster spot feels right now because it just feels like he's a shoe-in. And, like he looks good in practice, but I don't care. I don't care how he looks in practice. Like that's the point. If you can't do it in a game setting, when Cam Ward makes a veteran throw like that ball was play, and I know everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. That ball was placed perfectly. I mean, that looked like a 6-year vet in a system that he knew. Like it was just the I think Cam Ward had a better game this week than he did in the first game, and the stats look terrible. But to say that, like Van Jefferson, and that wasn't the only drop. Like this has been a multi-week problem, and I don't care how he looks in training camp. I don't care how he looks at practice. I don't care how he looks in team drills. If you can't do it on the field, I don't want you on the field because I feel like there's guys behind him that can do it better. But yeah, it just feels like he's a shoe-in. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of competition in a wide receiver room that feels really crowded, and there should be a lot of competition in. So I don't know. And I could be reading it wrong. Like maybe these young guys are getting an opportunity because his spot's in a little bit of trouble, but it just doesn't seem that way. And I don't know. Like you said about starting, I don't know. Like it's at this point, I couldn't say one way or another because the whole thing just feels weird to me, in my opinion.
I'll say this. One guy that definitely isn't going to have any problems getting some targets is Elic Ayomanor.
Yeah.
He played 7 snaps he ran 7 routes. Let me rephrase that. He ran 7 routes. Was targeted 4 times on those routes.
Mhm.
That's pretty good.
He
I
gets
mean,
open. I mean, that's what you ask for.
well, I mean, who Cam's looking at.
Yeah.
And honestly, because Van Jefferson was kind of out there. Honestly, if Calvin Ridley's on the other side, you want the best player opposite of him, right? And I fully believe that is Elick Ayomanor. I don't think that's Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson has the size, the speed, but there was a reason that he was available and signed for as cheaply as he was. I mean, no offense to him. I'm just being realistic, man. He's a Khalif Raymond, except not as
Yeah.
reliable.
Well, yeah, and I say all this because to say also, like, I don't think the plan going into training camp was for Van Jefferson to be a starter. Like, you wanted these young guys to do what they're doing, which is kind of step up and earn that spot. And yeah, I mean, A.O. Manor's your starter opposite of Ridley. I think that's already kind of a given. I think DK has shown some good things. He's still got a little bit to learn in his route concepts. Like, there was one kind of miscommunication where Cam thought he should have kept going, and he probably should have, but he kind of stopped. So there's just little things like that, but he still shows the talent. So yeah, I mean, Van Jefferson wasn't brought in to be your number 2. Like that was never a thing. But the fact that he's kind of, I don't know, fell into a number 3, number 4 spot just kind of irks my nerves a little bit because I don't think he's earned it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just really I don't understand why it's not even a question right now as to whether he's
Yeah.
on or off the roster.
I mean, that should be a much bigger conversation than it
I agree.
is. Yeah, because I mean, there's other guys, and look, I'm not. I was a big Restrepo fan going into this offseason. I think he hasn't shown not nearly what he was doing at Miami, but I don't know. I mean, and look, I thought it was possible this team probably kept 7 receivers. To me, now it's looking more like 6 because you've got the tight end stepping up a lot more. You've got the running back stepping up. I think you just have more raw talent at these other positions than you do at receiver. So very possible this is a 5-6 wide receiver team going into week 1.
Yeah, that's not at all out of the realm of possibility. I also see that the possibility of going 7, and going a little light on tight end. So I see it. I see it both ways. Because man, I'll be honest with you. You know who impressed me a lot with the little bit of time that they got to impress me? Restrepo.
Yeah. I mean,
He
yeah.
caught 2 passes, but that second pass, it was like maybe a yard gain where he stat, but he made a nifty move, made one defender miss, then the next defender miss, ended up with 13 yards. I mean, that's not great, but that's a first down.
Yeah,
And
well, it's more than Van Jefferson's done. That's the thing, and
thank
he's
you.
not getting the opportunities that Van Jefferson's got. And again, that's what they say this last preseason game's for. But I just feel like we're not going into roster cuts with a very good sample size on a lot of these guys, and that's what these games are for. And I mean, that's really not a knock on anybody except the coaching staff. And I mean, everybody knows I'm not scared to knock this coaching staff. But yeah, I just think I expected – I don't know that I expected more questions to be answered. I just expected different questions to be answered. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, I thought I was going to have questions at linebacker. I don't. I didn't think I'd have questions at wide receiver. I do. So I don't know.
It is a little maddening at times. I will agree with you on that. It doesn't seem to be. It's very different than what we thought at the draft.
Yeah.
Where we thought we'd be. So, but at the same time, if you follow me on social media, you saw it, or if you follow Titans on social media, you probably saw it. But PFF, 2 of our receivers were on there for young receivers that were possibly high profile receivers in the NFL, DK and A.O. Manor. So the potential's there. I'm excited about the potential that we have at wide receiver, and it's fun, to be honest, to conversate about wide receivers as a Tennessee Titan. Like, to be honest, our best wide receiver was 1,303 yards, and let's be honest, in today's NFL, that's not great.
Doesn't cut it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not elite.
Yep.
So,
you don't win Super Bowls with a 1,300-yard receiver. Yeah, I mean, it's just
not unless he has like 28 touchdowns or something like that.
Well, NWI's gone, so I don't know if that happens, but
I don't know. Something else I want to go off on a little bit here on a little tangent. My little Titans chat. I have many of them, but one is my main chat, and I don't even know what it's called, for God's sake. That's terrible. I think it's called Titans for Life. Whatever. Anyway, point is, it's where I normally talk about, just openly about Titan stuff. And I dropped a comment in there today that at the time when I dropped it, I thought, maybe I'm being a little bit homerish on this. Maybe I'm just reading too much or giving him too much credit. But the more I thought about it, the more I got to stove up and be like, no, Gunnar Helm will be a starting tight end number 1.
Oh yeah,
within a month.
Yeah,
within a month, y'all. If at the end of October he isn't listed as tight end 1, I will admit I am wrong, and y'all can come up with some kind of, I don't know, whatever. Maybe I'll just say I was wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I actually really agree with that. And I think that was the goal when you drafted him. Like, look, Josh Whyle has not lived up to what we thought he could be. Now, granted, he kind of took over just randomly, like kind of came out of nowhere. I think he just played kind of above his expectation there for a while, and things have kind of settled out on Wiley. And then Chig, I don't want to say it's been a letdown, but it's kind of been a letdown. Like he has those moments late in the regular season where it's like, oh, there he is. But maybe that changes this year. Maybe he comes out, doesn't have the drop problems. He's able to do the things we've seen a little bit at practice. But look, I think Gunnar Helm, within a month, I think that's easily his job to take. And right now it's his job to lose. Like, I think that's what this coaching staff wants, is for him to be the number 1, because he's the do-it-all tight end. Like, he's a guy that can be on the field for 3 downs, and he can catch the ball, he can pass block. That's what you wanted. So that's a great young talent that I think we're going to be saying really good things about within the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, just look at last week's performance.
Yeah.
4 receptions on 4 targets, 1 touchdown. That was, I enjoyed that a lot. But anyway, PFF gave him a grade of 90.2. Highest graded rookie tight end from the week 2 of preseason. Dude, he was taken in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
That's a steal, bro. I don't know how he was still there. But anyway, and besides, I don't know if you watched the last couple of shows, you already know, because I've said it 4 or 5 times in the last couple of shows, but dude is massive. He is a huge man. He looks kind of skinny, like when you look at him in photos and stuff, he looks kind of like Josh Whyle. But he's so freaking tall that it almost clouds your vision as to how thick the man really is. He's a hell of a blocker too, according to Nick Holtz. He's gotten better on his blocking, and he is mentally further than he should be. So I look at all those as good signs, and like I said, I'll be extremely surprised if Gunnar Helm isn't tight end number 1 by the end of the month.
Yeah, and
I was going to say, first time Chig just like completely screws up on the offensive game plan, they're going to move to Helm and just let him have it.
Yeah, and I don't want to sit here and make comparisons as far as the player or the future or anything like that. But if you look at where the Titans have had success in tight ends, Frank Wycheck, Delaney Walker in his prime. Like, this just feels like one of those guys, they get young and he kind of grows into his position and he's with the team a really long time. Like, that's just like, I expect him to be a staple because he's just that type of leader, that type of player. So yeah, I think you got a steal in the draft. And I thought it was a steal when the draft happened. So yeah, I mean, we could all be wrong about this. Maybe other teams, know something we don't, but he's done nothing but prove he was worth the draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, man. So we're basically at the halfway point of the show. Not really, but whatever, it's close enough. I'm gonna throw up an ad. It's only 35 seconds, so chill out. And then Scoob's coming up. We're gonna have him, and then we'll get back. So tighten up for a second.
What's up, Titans fans? Maximus Titan fan here. Are you in need of professional excavation services? Look no further. Red Zone Builders has the expertise, experience, and equipment to handle all or any excavation project, big or small. Whether you need land clearing, site preparation, trenching, foundation excavation, or any other excavation services, they have you covered. Their team of skilled professionals will work diligently to ensure your project is completed safely, efficiently, and to your satisfaction. Trust the experts at Red Zone Builders to get the job done right.
Hey, Max, Link, Titans fans, how's it going tonight? Everybody good? Well, tonight I'm going to talk about my trip with my daughter to the Falcons game. It was a great trip. The people in Atlanta were pretty cool. The stadium was a really nice stadium. It was a pretty cool stadium. The fans treated us really well. I've heard a lot of different stories about Atlanta, but I had a really great experience there. It was a lot of fun. The team played well. All the rookies were playing very well, and it was an enjoyable night. And I just wanted to tell a little story. We walked around the stadium. Something that I like to do before games. We'll take the loop around the whole stadium and check everything out. And when we were walking around, we noticed that they had a Chick-fil-A in the stadium. Well, I was talking to one of the fans. I was like, "Well, are they open on Sundays?" He's like, "No, they're not open on Sundays. They're only open on Monday nights and Thursday nights." I thought that was kind of funny and maybe a waste of space or something. I don't know, but that was pretty interesting that they have a Chick-fil-A in their stadium. But besides that, yeah, Gunnar Helm, he had a great night. Uh, Alik Iomanner, he had a really good night. Cam's looking good. There's 2 preseason games now. Cam hasn't been sacked, so offensive line has been doing their job and taking care of everything. So hopefully tomorrow night we keep that thing going and Cam keeps lighting it up with the young guys. Since I know Ridley's not playing tomorrow, so let the young guys get some more opportunities and tighten up, everybody. I hope y'all have a good night. See y'all tomorrow.
What's up, man?
What's up?
How are they going to put a Chick-fil-A in a football stadium and not open on Sunday?
I don't know, man. I thought it was funny. I just thought you could put something else there that would be open on Sundays.
Anything. Yeah, I mean, I love Chick-fil-A. Don't get me wrong. Their
Right.
food and their service is second to none. They are the best fast food in my opinion. They've got that down to a science.
Yeah.
But yeah, they ain't open on Sundays, so that kind of ruins 90% of the football games. Why would you?
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
thought
but
that
you
was
know
pretty
what's
funny.
crazy? The thing is, like, let's say they just opened for a Thursday night game, they probably still get their money. Like, they ain't losing money.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
No.
it's cool. They don't
Well,
care.
yeah,
Just the fact
Yeah.
that they got it in the stadium, that's all they care about.
yeah. Well,
Right.
yeah. All right, I'll go with that. I'll go with that, man.
Right.
They have really cool hidden menu items, by the way. I don't know if you ever tried their tortilla soup.
Oh
It's a seasonal thing, but it is amazing.
yeah, they have some good stuff.
Yeah, anyway, all right, sorry. I'll get off on a tangent if we're going to food. I'm like a fat guy when it comes to food, dude. I love
Right.
food. So yeah, other than that on the offense, we pretty much covered most of the offense on the last game, but Chestnut looked really good.
Yes.
And he is making it extremely hard for Cal Mullins to try to get on this team as a third
Yeah.
running back. I mean, to be honest, it looks like Mims is probably beating Mullins out for the practice squad job. So,
Man, I tell you,
yeah.
I think they're going to keep 4 running backs. I really do.
That's tough. And I'm really excited not to, I mean, obviously I'm excited about the game, but I'm really excited to get through the game also because this is going to be one of the more fun seasons trying to predict a full roster. Like it
Right.
because yeah, like I agree. I think there's potential they keep 4 running backs, but then that takes
Especially with
away from
Spears
something
being
else.
hurt all the time.
Yeah, but I just feel like if Spears is ready week 1, like that's a lock. And then obviously Pollard's a lock.
Yeah.
And then I think Chestnut's kind of worked his way into that
Oh,
third
he's
guy.
locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all
I feel
around
like yeah.
third best. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's
then
the
I
third
mean,
guy.
and the thing about it is, like, I don't think you're necessarily if you put Mullins and Mims, if they go on the practice squad, I don't think those are going to be guys you lose. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it's just safer to keep 3 unless there is an injury, and then Tajay Spears goes down, and then you bring one of those guys up. Like I think that's a good possibility. I just don't know that it benefits you keeping a 4th. You know what I'm saying? Because if you've got them on the practice squad and they're there, I don't really know what benefit you get out of a 4th.
Right.
I mean, to
think
be
they're
honest,
going to keep 3 tight ends though. So
Mims and Kal-El, I mean, the talent that they bring, no offense to either one of them, they're great, but it you know, you can pick them up.
I mean, Mullins had a really good game last Friday though.
He did.
Man.
Yeah,
he had a good average
did.
and stuff like that. I mean, he had good runs. It was much better than the first run that he got. I felt bad for him after that. I was like, oh man, don't let that be your first run. Dude,
I think
terrible.
he's going to make the roster. I would put money on it that he makes the roster.
Ooh,
I would.
Man, that is a bold prediction.
Yeah,
we're gonna roll with that as Scoop's bold prediction for the roster.
Yeah.
As far as the defense goes, man, the first thing is glaringly obvious about our defense, and I think it will get better, obviously, when the starting 3 defensive interior linemen are starting. But run defense.
Well, we might get to see Big Jeff tomorrow night.
And it wasn't terrible. Don't get me wrong; it was better than it was week 1. Week 1, it was god awful, and we actually held them for the most part until Nathan Carter. I had to look down at my notes to get that. But Nathan Carter busted off a 43-yard touchdown run.
Right.
And, you know, that's the kind of things that you can't have. You can't have a running back that looks like he's probably a third stringer, if I'm being real. Bust across a 43-yard run for a touchdown. That even against your backups or your backup, even if it's your third stringers, that's not good. That's not what I want to see.
Yeah, it's not. Simmons and Sweat make such a big difference that it's hard for me to get concerned about your starters again. Like I feel like, to me, the weird thing about it is I feel like your defense, your starters are very, very good, like almost elite. Like at every position, you've got a player who has the potential to be elite, but you have zero depth. And then on the flip side of that, the offense feels like you've got the depth, you've got the receivers, you've got the running backs, like you've got your depth on offense, but who's going to be the breakout guy at each position? So it's kind of a flip-flop right now, but I'm not super concerned about the run game unless there's an injury, because I just feel like Simmons and Sweat make such a big swing in the other direction that and I could be totally wrong, but going in against the Broncos, run defense isn't on my list of concerns.
I have a strong feeling that 90% of the waiver wire is going to be defensive players that we bring in.
That's fair. It should be. I mean, it should be, because you've got nobody there if a starter goes down.
Yeah. And I really do.
We definitely could churn
most of them are going to be
there.
defense. I believe we're probably going to pick up 2 edge rushers, at least 2 edge rushers.
Yeah, man, that's our really weak spot. That's where it really stings, you know. And I was hoping Ole would look better than he does, but you know, I think that was unrealistic expectations on him to be that raw at that position. So I don't know. You know, it's going to be an interesting season when it comes to pressure. I think a lot of it's going to come from the back end or the middle of the line, you know, with Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons. So.
Oh, yeah.
hopefully the guys can, on the edge at least provide some sort of something.
Is it too late to have a wish list? Like, let's say there's a situation where Micah Parsons does officially hit the market. Like, am I dreaming? Like,
He's the
I
only
know
one I would give up draft picks for.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's so improbable, and the percentage chance is like got to be like 1,000,000 to 1. But what if? You know what I'm saying?
It would be.
Could you? I mean, just think about it. You had Simmons and Sweat on the interior. You had Arden Key and Parsons on the edge. You now have your middle linebacker positions locked down. I mean, we haven't even got to Cedric Gray and James Williams yet. Like, we haven't even talked about that situation. And then you do. Let's say Snead is healthy on the back end. Then you've got Roger McCrary and Brown.
You got all that pressure. It really
that's
helps
an elite. Like that becomes an elite defense overnight. Because right now, I feel like all you're missing is depth and edge rusher.
Yeah. If you had a good edge rusher, you have a good defense already. Because like I said, the more pressure you put on the quarterback and the offensive line, the defensive backs don't have to be as glued to the receiver.
Yeah.
And they can hold their ground for, 2-3 seconds, you're good. I used to tell my offensive line guys that all the time. All you got to do is give me 3 good seconds. Give me 3 good seconds.
Oh, man.
And we'll get the ball
offensive line has been really – I mean, I know it's backups and whatever, but they've been doing their job, man.
But my point is if you can get in the backfield within 3 seconds, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You pretty much blow up whatever play is coming, whether it's a run play, a pass. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're
not letting routes develop at that point.
Yeah, and Parsons is definitely the kind of talent that could do that.
One can dream, man. One can dream.
Man. Yeah. Yeah.
And he said he likes Cam, and he would probably come.
I know. I would think that would actually work out, but man,
and he's young enough. He's young enough. I don't care. I don't care. Make it work. Make the money work. I don't care. I don't. Give him a second.
Jerry Jones was quoted on Michael Irving's podcast. I think it was today or yesterday that he offered him the richest NFL deal of a non-quarterback, and he turned it down.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's Jerry. Like I'm
is
not
he
saying
of being a Dallas Cowboy. I mean,
yeah, I think that's what it is. I think he just doesn't want to be a Cowboy because if you look at the and screw Titans talk, let's talk about Micah Parsons and the freaking Cowboys. But if you look at the post, like, I mean, this whole crap, it's a circus. It's an absolute circus. Like you've got people coming through the locker room while players are in there, and like it's just a complete circus. I don't think there's an amount of money that the Cowboys can offer him that's going to make him stay. Right. Now, that being said, they can kind of force him to stay and kind of force his hand. But when he does become available, like he's young enough that he's not necessarily ring chasing at this point.
No.
Like I think he's in the mindset of I don't want to be on a complete rebuild, but if I'm on a team that's going to be competing within the next 3 years, like I'm just doing everything in my power to try to bring that dude to Nashville because it is an absolute game changer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And if he does come to Nashville, just on the off chance that he does,
the fans would freak out, bro.
Borgonzi would go down as probably one of the best GM. I mean, the best start that a GM could possibly have. He had a great
he's
draft.
Already on it.
I was going to say he had a great draft. He did well in free agency. So, I mean, if he was to land a superstar deal like that, that would be it. I mean, we have the money. I mean, we have like the second or third most money in the league. We got a little bit of cash.
Yes and no, because yes, you have the money, but you've got a lot of contract years coming.
Well, you'd have to backload.
You've got a lot. You got a lot of dudes.
Do like the Saints do and just keep pushing it back. Pushing it back.
4 years.
Yeah, but you see where that got the Saints.
Oh man, where did that get us, dude? We're still paying Julio Jones. We're not paying Julio.
I don't think money's that big of an issue in the NFL anymore because there's so much money now. There's so much money.
I will say,
going up every year.
If Brinker and Amy can bring Micah Parsons in, all is forgiven. The Rand stuff. the Derrick Henry stuff, the
Everybody would
sticking
forget
by
about
Will
it.
Levis stuff, everything is forgiven. I no longer care about Carthon. I no longer care about Levis. No longer care about Henry. I'm wiping the slate clean if you can bring
Man.
me a Micah Parsons Titans jersey.
I agree. And again, we can dream, but I think
Right.
that's all it is a dream.
It is. It is.
Yes.
But our reality isn't as bad as we thought it was going to be, because to be honest, I was really concerned going into this offseason about middle linebacker. I was worried. I was like, I don't know which one's going to step up. I hope it's James Williams, because I felt like that was the best chance of somebody stepping up. But Cedric Gray has come on
Man.
really
Good.
strong,
He
dude.
looked great.
In the
He
last
looked great
game,
last
he
week.
was beasting it, dude. And he should have had an interception to pad those stats also, but it was called back because of penalty.
I mean, he is a downhill guy. I mean,
Point is,
coming forward.
my headline or my main quote here is that it doesn't matter who starts between Cedric Gray and James Williams.
No.
They are both good enough to be the starter next to Barton. And if Barton goes down with an injury, guess what? I still think they're good enough to play at each position. I went from being really concerned about middle linebacker to going, you know what? We're actually really good at middle linebacker.
That's
Not only are we good, we're young and good.
Yeah.
Which is where you want to be in the NFL. So
they're good
as far
now,
as I'm
and they
concerned,
have the ability to be great.
Yeah, man, this was a A+ right here for both guys, and I just want to see more. Bring it.
I think Cedric Gray, I think he kind of took that starting position. Like, I feel like he's done enough. Like, and I mean, just slightly. Like, he just edged out James Williams, and that's a good thing. Like, that's the type of competition you want. So I do feel like week one, Cedric Gray's there, but I feel like there's also going to be a lot of rotation, which is good because you want to keep them fresh. I mean, they're young. You want to keep them fresh. Because let's be honest, like we just talked about pass rusher, some of your pass rush may have to come from the middle. So if you can rotate those guys in and out, find some different schemes, I think it can work. Like that's kind of my bright spot going into this from where I had that concern. So yeah, and look, I was still coming off the depression from like the Chance Campbell injury. Like I was like, I don't know where we turn. Like I was lost. But yeah, I think Cedric Gray's came in and absolutely taken over. I think James Williams has done a good job, and then you've got the veteran presence. So yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always give a shout out to the tackle leader, like almost always. And Cedric Gray was the tackle leader.
Yeah.
Was that 2 in a row? Wasn't he?
No.
I thought he was tied. I think him and James Williams were like tied in that first game. So that's
close. Yeah.
That's impressive. Like to
I will
come
say,
in.
He gets my slight, like I said, a slight edge, just like you said, just because of that, that he has just slightly better stats through the 2 games. But B, for me, it's also about size. If you look at the 2 of them next to each other, Cedric Gray is thicker than James Woods. Yep. And that, to me, I think is going to hold up better in the middle, in the inside linebacker position. But we'll see how it goes.
I'll tell you another guy that I was really impressed with last Friday was a young kid from Cal, the corner. He played
Marcus Harris.
Yeah.
Yes, played very well, man. I'm really excited about him, too. Because I wasn't really paying attention, and I was like, whoa, where'd he come from?
Yeah, I know, man. He seemed to be around the ball a lot. I think he was four tackles, 2 pass defense, and tackle for loss, I believe, was his stats.
That's another position that I'm not worried about anymore. Even without Snead, I'm not worried about that position.
I mean, I feel like we have good depth. Let me say that. Like if one of them goes down for a game or 2, I'm not like throwing out alarm bells. But if one of them goes down for 3 or 4 games, take them out of the order.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that you can take any, kind of like you said, I don't know that you can take any of those backup, quote unquote, those backup guys and throw them in a situation where they're starting 6 weeks in a row because all of a sudden they're going to start getting targeted. by
Yeah.
pretty elite quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the moment they come in a game,
that's
dude.
what I'm saying. Like they're going to go at it. And do I think they can hold up for a few plays? Absolutely, because they've all shown flashes. Do I think they can hold up for a full 60 minutes against starting wide receivers and starting NFL quarterbacks? Like, I'm not so sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not. You've got the bodies, but again, like if one of those three dudes goes down, I don't feel for an extended amount of time. I just don't feel great about it.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So Kendall Brooks got an interception and the touchdown, really the only touchdown for the, I guess you want to call them starters, whatever. And it was cool. Don't get me wrong.
He jumped out real quick, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked impressive. I will say that. I don't know if it really helps him as far as, landing a roster spot, but we'll have to see when it comes Tuesday. As far as the rest of it, look, man, let's talk about special teams for a minute.
Oh, I'm glad we got to that.
All right, so our special teams in the past have been very shaky, to say the least. Not the best receiving or returning team. We're seeing a lot better focus on that. Not as good as the first game, if in my opinion, as far as the especially with the penalties. The penalties was a thing that used to just irk the crap out of me last year. Man, we would get a good return and then it would just be pulled back by penalty every single time. So it was a little disheartening to see a couple of those. But we had pretty good returns by Eric Aomanor, or not Aomanor, excuse me, Chimre DK and
Prochet.
Thank you. Prochet. I always want to call him Porsche, man. I don't know why I want to move the R around in his name, but whatever. James Prochet. He had a.
He's the reason I think we're keeping 7 wide receivers.
I'll give you that, to be honest, because as far as returning goes, I don't think anybody's better than he is. We saw Jaquan Jackson out there, and I'll be honest, I was holding my breath the entire time he was out there. So as far as that goes, though, the returns look good. That's my basis. Going really long with it. I'm sorry, we're at the end of the show and I'm off on tangents. But the main thing I want to talk about is our damn kickers.
Yeah.
Because they look shaky as hell, man.
Yeah.
But if you ask the coach, he said that they're where they need to be at this point.
Yeah, don't love that.
Look,
don't love that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
Fossil
is
an
extra point, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Fossil, the quick change or whatever, the quick change kick or whatever.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah. Fossil's a veteran coach.
I don't care.
And one of two things happened. Either he's playing it off and trying to calm everybody's nerves, or he's wrong. Like, those are your only two options. Like, because this is not where you want to be. You're not at all where you want to be. You're not. I still don't think you're where you want to be in the return game. Like, this is still a big work in progress, and it sucks. Looking back, and I'm not saying it was the wrong decision at the time, but I threw up a little bit of a question mark when Stonehouse was let go and Hecker was brought in, because yes, you're bringing in a veteran body, but you're letting go of a guy who's shown the talent and maybe hasn't fully recovered from an injury. Now, again, I'm not saying it was the wrong thing, because Stonehouse was just released by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I don't know that Hecker's necessarily the direction we should have gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, the idea of it made sense, but I'm not seeing it work on the field now. So I think those options should still be open, because kickers and punters, I'm not saying they're a dime a dozen, but they're definitely out there. So maybe there should have been a little more competition. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't have let Stoney go. I think that was a mistake. I'm not going to sugarcoat it at all.
I think that leg injury ruined his career.
It could have.
I think he's scared from blocking.
It ruined his
career. I think his
career.
terrible blocking is what he's scared of, and I think we're a lot better at blocking this season with Fassel change at ST coach. So I really feel like if he was still here, I feel like he would be outperforming. I'm just being real.
I mean, here's what I'll say. It was a mistake. What benefit did you have in letting him go? Like, why not let him compete this offseason against Hecker? and just see where he's at. Like I'm not
Well,
saying
didn't they
he
say
would have won
Fossil
the job.
brought Hecker in, right? Fossil's the reason why Hecker is here.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Yeah.
You were wrong. He's not like I'm not ready to go into week 1 with him as my punter. Like and this
Yeah, I
could
don't
be
like
a team. I mean, we hope we don't have to punt a lot, but history has shown we might be punting a lot. You need a guy who can and again, he has the distance, he has the hang time, he doesn't have the consistency. And that's all you really want in a punter is consistency. And that's what I've seen the lack of.
Yeah, man, and that's really it for me, man. Like I said, I think most of the problem with Stoney was the blocking. With Hecker, it's just he shanks it too often. I don't know why, but the dude shanks it a lot. And we also traded a guy that's like, what was I think Stoney was 23, or 24, somewhere around in there, for a guy that's 32.
Yep.
I think Hecker's 32. I don't know, man. These, I'm just ringing these off the top of my head, but my personal opinion is, that's a mistake. We haven't even made it into the regular season yet, and I feel like that was a mistake. So I feel like by the end of the season, we're really going to be reeling from that pickup. But one of the few things that they did sign this offseason that I disagree with. So, I'm a little skeptic on the Moore signing too, but we'll see. That's, we'll see.
I mean, he's played pretty well so far.
I was going to say he's done pretty damn well so far. Yeah,
it
looks like him
tackle.
and I was going to say it looks like him and Skoronski have a very good chemistry together, and I guess they've kind of trained together in the off seasons or whatever, because they have I don't know, they have like left tackle clubs or I don't know, offensive lineman club. I don't know exactly how it works, but they have worked well in the off season before, in some kind of off-season workout, so they knew each other. They had kind of a chemistry already, and it looks like it has translated onto the field, because Moore has done a much better job than any of the other left tackles we brought in over the years since Taylor Lewan. I mean, since Taylor Lewan, we've been in left tackle hell. Let's be real.
It's not a very high bar, but yeah.
We might have finally got our offensive line since what?
I was
just say let's pump the brakes.
On paper.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm just not ready to say it out loud yet.
I want to see it. I want to see it week 1. After week 1, if the offensive line looks good after week 1, I'm there. I'm there for the rest of the season. I think they're the dudes. Let's go. But I need to see it week 1 regular season game against starting defensive linemen. We haven't seen that yet.
Too.
Yeah, and we haven't seen that. I mean, the Falcons are pretty deep in the defensive line. I did actually want to talk about that. They did get a little bit more of a push than we saw from hell, I forgot who we played in the first week. It doesn't matter. It's preseason. The point is that they were pushing a little bit more, but the offensive line still held up well. They passed off guys well. They kept their assignments well. So I still feel like it's a positive
and
move.
Slater looked good again, man.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'm very happy with Jackson Slater, man.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is Cam looks comfortable behind the line. Like he doesn't, like when you watch Will Levis, he heard footsteps.
Right.
And I don't fully blame him for that, because he was put in a blender more times than not. But Cam Ward just looks comfortable behind his offensive line. He's got ice in his
veins, man.
He does, and a lot of that, and a lot of that's Cam Ward. I mean, that's just Cam Ward. But it just he looks comfortable. He knows when to roll out. He knows where to roll out to, and his offensive line looks like they're kind of comfortable with him knowing where he's going to be and where to hold up their blocks.
And he's starting to throw guys open.
Yeah, he is, and that to me is a promising sign for the offensive line, just because you have more comfortability there.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. If you can give Cam just a few seconds, I feel like he is going to be good. We'll see. I don't want to give him too much credit yet. I jumped on the Levis train way too heavy.
Yeah, but we were kind of pushed. We were kind of pushed on the Levis train. We're not really getting pushed on this train.
We were pushed on the Levis train.
Cam is like, come on, Let me show you.
Dude, I was going to say, man, that is the real difference right there. For me,
Right.
it's all about the attitude. The guy
Right.
showing up, the story of him coming in at 5 a.m. every day, leaving at 7 p.m. every night, putting in the work, throwing the balls, taking the conference after the mini camp or whatever. They're like, what are you going to do? And he's like, throw the fuck out of the football. And then you see him like a week later with all his receivers throwing the football at Miami. I mean, it was just
Fighting Jeffrey
there
Simmons.
is a difference. Yeah,
After
except
every
Baker.
practice, man,
I mean,
he's throwing the football.
That takes
guys.
nuts. That takes nuts to push Jeffrey. Like I am bold.
We didn't
I'm
even
not
talk
pushing,
about the damn
I am not
fight.
pushing Jeffrey Simmons in the back.
Oh,
I
no.
refuse. You could. There's
Bruh,
not an
and the
amount of
fact
money.
that Jeffrey Simmons had to be like escorted out of there because he touched the
Yeah.
We
quarterback,
wouldn't even be
which
able to
is just
outrun him.
hilarious.
Yeah,
And then
but
people
let
made
me.
a big deal about it. Come on now.
But I'll say this before we close: like we just made it through a preseason show and didn't talk about the quarterback until the last 5 minutes. Like that.
Right.
That is a good sign because he's doing what you expect him to do. He's
Exactly.
progressing the way you expect him to progress. I'm not
Yes.
saying the dude's going to be a Pro Bowler year one.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's going to be in a Super Bowl, but you're seeing all the right signs of a franchise quarterback.
Exactly.
And it just feels like we haven't seen that in a long time. So kudos to us and the Titans for making it through this preseason show without having a complete meltdown about the quarterback position.
My powder,
Yeah.
My powder is wet with Cam Ward, Iowa Manor, and Helm. My powder is soaking wet. Okay. I
Soppy.
used to keep my powder dry. I can't no more. I can't
Nah.
keep it dry.
Nah, it's soppy, dude. It's soaked up.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see. I love that though that we didn't really talk about the quarterback that much, but he did actually have a lot better game. I wanted to talk about his accuracy.
Stats look terrible, but it was a better game.
Whatever. Yeah, it's a better game, and I'm happy that he didn't throw a football right into a defender's chest. That was something I liked. So yeah, and he didn't roll away from invisible pressure again. So again, I'm not seeing the same mistake twice. So for me, Cam Ward is better than Will Levis, if nothing else, on a mental aspect.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
Oh man,
All right.
cold. The kid is ice cold.
He is cool as shit, dude. I'm not gonna lie. He is, yeah.
And I still keep thinking about when Callie said they had that heart machine on him, and like his heart rate stayed the same through the whole, pressure, whatever. His heart rate never elevated or anything. He just stayed cool the whole time.
Yeah, if only we could say the same about Callie.
Right. Hey now, watch it. That's my coach.
That is a different show. That is a different show. Maybe
Right.
next week. That is probably what
I
we're
think
going to talk
Callie
about.
has turned a leaf. I really like what he's doing this year.
Yeah.
He is talking the talk. Let's
Yeah.
see him walk the walk.
If I start, I won't stop. So I won't say
Yeah.
anything.
Next show. That's a very good off week show. So let's do
Right.
that. Hey guys, if you hung around with us the whole time, we really appreciate it, man. Thank you for sticking with us. We don't really do we do this really just for fun. Believe it or not, I actually pay to have this done, to be honest, but it is fun. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I thank you guys for watching. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever share if you can. We appreciate it. Until next time, like I said, if you're at the game Sunday, come by, man. We'll all
Tomorrow.
three be there. It's going to be fun, dude. And until next time.
I appreciate you always having me, guys. Appreciate you.
Peace out. Hey, man, how can we not have the fan of the year on the show?
That's right.
Man, it would be amazing if that happened.
Side note, peace out, people.
Side note.
We'll see you next week.